Good morning. We're doing something new today. We are reviewing a new product called RaceMetricsRC. It's a new application that has come out recently, so we've been asked to review. So here it is. So if you race, run a club, or make RC content, you've probably got your results in one app. You set up notes in a notebook and your lap data somewhere on a timing computer. Today I'm looking at RaceMetricsRC, an app that's trying to pull all of that into one place. Let's see if it actually delivers. So RaceMetricsRC is an advanced analytics and performance app built specifically for RC racing. Think of it as the missing layer that sits on top of your club's timing system. It grabs the data, it prettifies it, because we all like colours and lines, and gives you tools that actually matter, whether you're a club racer, a club organiser, or a content creator. But here's the thing that makes it different. RaceMetrics works with all of the major timing systems: RC Timing, BBK RC Live, Live RC, RC Clubs, and MyRCM. It doesn't matter which one your venue runs, you get the same polished interface, the same features, and the same experience. One app, any venue. That matters if you travel to races or multiple clubs. Let's get into it and have a look at some of the features available. So one of the first things we're going to do is go to the Facebook page, and we're going to go to racemetrics.com. Links will be downstairs in the description, and then that's going to take you into the app page where it shows you a rough overview of what's going to go on. Then we're going to go ahead and click Get Started, which takes us into the main area of the application itself. You'll probably get some prompts for like notifications, install RaceMetricsRC on your phone, etc. That's completely up to you what you choose to do. You can just run it from the link each time, or you can install the application, and then we'll go into our account settings, and this is where you start making the magic happen and actually linking an account to your stuff. So once you've put in your details and done that, and you'll then go across to your email, which I've skipped ahead to, you'll get a nice email that looks like this with a code on it and a link, and then you can either go and use the code verification option, or you can go and click on the sign in, and that will then sign the app in, and then back over to the app we go. Once you're over there and you are signed in, you're going to get some options again now. Maybe if there's a newer version, so you just need to update that, and then you're going to get some options for enabling notifications from your phone. Again, that's personal choice if you want notifications to come through. And then we're going to get into doing our details. Now, obviously, these are your personal details as well. Your name. It's important to correct the correct name, because that's how it's going to link you to your club. And then you're going to go to your club, and then you're going to put the primary club in there as well. And it will come up with a list. They're all pulled up from all the various different sources out there. And after you've done that, it's then going to present you with an option for some transponder choices. So for me, I can see one of my transponders is available. I'm going to select the first one there. Now I'm pressing the go button, but nothing's actually happening. The reason that is because you need to press the arrow and close the keyboard. And then you can get to next. That's going to take you on to the next stage, which is to add a car, add a club, and all the various different pieces that go with that. It won't let you go forwards with that, so you're going to have to click on skip for now, which will then take you back into the main part of the application. So back here now, we've got some options available to us, and we can see some other clubs and other venues at the top. It's telling me we want to be doing the profile, so you probably should spend a little bit of time just filling in the profile details before you move further forwards. And in the app, it's going to look pretty much the same as what we did to log in there. You're going to need to fill these details in across name, their club, etc. And then into the My Cars area, you're going to add your cars. Then you've got some preferences options. So you can change the colour and the style of the application. You've got location, race simulation notifications. So you can turn them on or off if you've accidentally prompted that beforehand. And then the head-to-head feature. We're going to talk about that one in a little bit more detail, because this is one I was probably most excited about on the application as well, because how you do against your mates is part of the fun of the hobby, right? So we'll cover that in a little bit more detail as we move further along. And then the final one is a pass key. If you want to use like authentication, biometrics, keys, fingerprints, etc. to log into the app, you can do that. And for the next part of this, we're going to jump across to the computer. So one of the first things you're going to see when you come in here is the last venue you raced at, and if you've got it showing all these other venues that are currently available. And if, like me, you like to look around and see where other race meetings are going on, you go up to your menu here after you've done your login, and there's a Find Tracks option. And this here, once you've set all your details and your preferences, will set your local area you currently are, and then you can zoom out and you can find all the different tracks in your area. This seems to be coming from the BRCA database, so as long as they're registered and all set up correctly there, they should all show up, and then you can go up to your filters option, and then you can choose a radius from where you are, the different types of services, and all the different facilities they've got available if they're all using. So that's an excellent feature for finding yourself new clubs. And once you know what club you're racing at, the next thing you're going to do is, all you'll be prompted at the start is to go through to My Garage. And then in here, this is where you start setting up the important stuff. This is where all the magic happens. So you start adding in your cars that you run and your transponder numbers. And when you put in your transponder number, that will then link that car to all the venues. So an example here is one of my touring cars. So I've set up the setup sheet on this basically, and I've linked it to this venue. You can choose other venues as well, so it knows where you were racing, and then you go through and then you put in your details. You can set like when you put your new tires in, how much soak time you have on them. Then you've got all your suspension setup options that you can go through, transmission options, and then finally what kind of track it was, and then save the car. And once you save the car, it saves that version of setup sheet. And the clever thing here is you can then link all these setup sheets to the track. So you can have a setup sheet where you've tried something in Q1, you can make a change to that setup sheet, and then you can then link that to Q2. You can then change that setup sheet again, and then you can link that to Q3. And then after that's done, you can then look at the analytics for that, and that will show you the differences between those two runs. Now I'm going to cheat here a little bit and show you something which links out to something else. So from this garage screen, where we're going to go next is to the analytics. And this is where the power comes in now for what the actual setup sheet analytics do. And because we've got these different setup sheets set on here now, and this date range set, that means they're going to, I can overlay them now against the race time. So we're going to have a look at how that looks. But we are going to use a slightly different one. I'm going to use the creator of this, Peter Lease, because he's got some setup sheets already. So we're going to go down to here, go to our analytics, and then off to setup sheet analytics. And from here, this is where we can see the real power. So we are looking at Pete Lease's, the creator, just to give us a better idea, because obviously he's got more setups saved in here than I do, because I hadn't been using it at the earlier stages. I certainly will be going forwards. So as you can see here, he's got his first like baseline V1 setup that's been put in, then a 2, 3, 4 and 5, and these are the setups he's been using between thed different races. So this one was used for like 4 races. This one he's added tyre information on there, but the key points we want to take away from this are the changes to the car. So we can see like average, best lap setups and things like that up here. And then when you look at that down here on the timeline, you can see the differences between the setups, what he was running, what was changed between each one, and then what those deltas are. So this V2 was slightly faster. This V24 was not quite as fast, that was slower, and then an improvement, probably going backwards from what was changed here to achieve a faster time there as well. And then when you flip back towards mine, because it's under my name, what he's also added now as a feature is we can change the date range on this as well for when these setups are applied and what their value is. And then that will also update this graph along here to include those changes and those times as well. So I think that's an excellent feature. And then every time you press the X in the top, it always takes you back to where you was previously here. You can go to edit your setups if you want to, and then you can make further changes to those setups on here. And then everything takes you back to home as well afterwards. So we can always see something there. See, I've got some profile stuff I still need to update there, and that'll be my setup sheets. Yes, it's a very, very powerful tool. There's so many different areas of this that are worth unpacking. Driver performance, driver comparisons, profiles, I've already covered that, and the head-to-head in here as well. My results, we've already had a look at this one. Yeah, this is a top-class product. Very, very pleased with this. I think this is something that many people are going to get a lot of use out of. Certainly trackside for logging all these changes, so you can see quickly. You can run them on the day to see how those setups are comparing side by side. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, and this is just scratching over the surface of what we're doing here. I strongly recommend that you dig deeper and play. And for me, one of my favourite features, and I'm sure many others will feel the same out there as well, is head-to-head. How awesome is this? So literally you go into this area in here, and as it says here, you pick a rival. So in my case, My friend Snippy and me, we always go head to head with each other. We even have a little trophy that we give to each other for the fastest lap. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to love. So on the start of it, you pick your rival on the event page before the racing starts. Then once you've locked that selection in, that's your rival fixed for that meeting. Every race you finish, we earn points against each other. And if your rivals pick you back, both wins and losses scored double as well. So that sounds like a really fun way to do things as well for the more club races. But, even at the top level scene, there's probably races that will actually take advantage of this. And as you can see from here, there's a few people already that have already taken advantage of this system. So that is a feature I thoroughly expect to be making use of regularly. There's even a feature for driver profiles. So everyone that's registered, so if you've gone to an event and you can't remember their number, if they are registered in this system, you can look them up as well to find out what their transponders were. So I'm just checking under Hartford and I can see Mr. Prigmore on here who's got 91 races to his name. But that also means I can click on Mr. Prigmore and see his races results, venues and some of his PBs and other information from various different races. I'm doing this live at the moment, so if I click on some of this, see what else we get. Yeah, we can see his results from other different venues as well, even lap times. So even without directly going there, you can break this down by driving all the way down into where they've been at other events as well. So the more data that's in the system, then the more there is to show. So I'd just like to conclude this review with one final piece. So when you are on that home screen, you can scroll down, you can search for your club here. So my local being Hartford HCC AMRAG Racers, and I've put a star on that one to add it to my favourites. Then when you're up here in the menu at the top, your venues come up. So I've got a couple favourited there, some winter series as well, along with my own, so I can quickly get to where I want to get to. But all in, I think this is definitely worth a look. If you're not using this yet, why not? We always struggle for notes trackside. I know I do, certainly. I write things down in the book and then I have to go scrolling through them. But the power to use the setups, to go through these bits and pieces, they can be so informative. Information's key in RC. And the more information you can retain and you've got at your fingertips, because this is just a login. If you log in on your phone, if you log in on the app, it's all central, it's online, and it's available to you, so you can go back and review. There's some other nice cool features on here as well I quite liked, where I was just playing on the side. So I was going to like my venues, going to my favourite venues, and there's some really cool AA stuff. So I'm just going to pick on one of these races here. From what do I want to do? Oh yes, this one here. This was look at. So I'll pull up the race results from there. I'm going to pick on this. Let's pick on Bill because Bill picks on everybody else when he's on the racetrack. And I click on Bill, and then it's going to show me his finishes, his times, the stuff we saw earlier, and your trajectories, etc., average times. And then I love this bit down the bottom. You press this little AI button. This does take a time to build, and as you scroll down, it will slowly start analysing its way through what you've done what happened during the race. And this just builds out and gives you a nice picture and some helpful pointers and things that you can use to try and improve your pace. So if you're not using this yet, you should be. Do get on there and find out. Have a look. I will link below in the description the Facebook page and the links directly to it. And hit up Pete and let him know what you think. Literally, while I've been recording this, I found some things and I messaged him in the background and he was able to resolve them immediately. So the response rate is fantastic. I think the product is very, very good. Do go out there and give it a go. Let us know what you think, and thank you for taking the time to review this today, and then we will speak soon. First review done. Might do more. It depends if people like this thing or not, like everything else. Otherwise, while you're at it, enjoy your racing, listen to the podcast, and look out for another review for a track editor coming quite soon as well.